Assalamualaikum class. Today we're going to have our 8th lecture of unit number 4, transport in plants. Our topics for today is the structure of a plant stem and the structure of plant root. Water enters the plant. Mineral salts enter the root. Before talking about the structure of a plant stem, everyone knows about the basic structure of a living plant. So in a basic structure of a living plants, they have roots, they have stems, branches, leaves, and reproductive structures, sometimes flowers, sometimes cones and spores, and so on. So most plants are vascular, which means they have a system of tubules inside them that carry nutrients around the plant. We have discussed about a simple structure of a plant. Now before moving on to the actual lecture, let us know something about the stem as well. Stems, they usually consist of 3 tissues. Okay, number 1 is dermal tissues, number 2 is ground tissue, and number 3 is vascular tissue. So vascular tissue, we're going to talk about it. Vascular tissues provide long distance transport and structural support. Most of all, ground tissue may be lost in a woody stem. Dermal tissue of aquatic plant stems may lack in the waterproofing found in the aerial stem. See the diagram. In a stem, the vascular bundles are arranged near the edges of the stem. So vascular bundles are arranged near the edges of the stem to help give the stem strength and to help it resist the bending force of the wind. Transport in plants, the structure of a plant stem. Xylem and phloem cells are arranged in veins. What now is a vein? A vein is a vascular structure. Xylem and phloem cells are surrounded by the bundle sheath in a leaf that provides supports for the leaf and transport both water and food. Basically, vein is a vascular structure. In both xylem and phloem, they are surrounded by the bundle sheath in a leaf. So they are present in a leaf that provides support for the leaf. They are not only providing the support for the leaf, but they are also transporting water and food. Xylem and phloem cells are arranged in veins or vascular bundles in the stem and leaves. Now what's a vascular bundle? A vascular bundle is a part of the transport system in vascular plants. The transport itself happens in vascular tissue. So transportation happens in the vascular tissue, which exists in 2 forms, which is xylem and phloem. So in stem, the vascular bundles are arranged in a circular pattern just beneath the outer layer of the cells or the epidermis. The vascular bundles contain many strong fibers, and this helps to make the stem strong and able to withstand being bent by the strong wind. We also written the xylem cells, vessels themselves also have reinforced cell walls, and these help to support the weight of the plant. So basically they are providing the support for the weight of the plant. If you look at the diagram over here, you see the phloem, which is the upper part, and the xylem, the lower part, the outer layer, which is the epidermis. This is the inner part is the cortex, and inside all the stem it has a pith. This is intervascular parenchyma. This the difference between these two, and the entire is called the vascular bundle. If we look again, this is the complete stem cell. If we open the stem and see these parts, so the outer layer is the epidermis, the inside these small rounded structures are the cortex, the phloem is the upper part, and the intervascular parenchyma is the difference between these two, and the xylem is the lower part, and this entire thing is called the vascular bundle. See from the book, this is the stem. In a stem, the vascular bundles are arranged near the edges of the stem to help give them strength and to help it resist the bending forces of the wind. So this is the phloem, this is the xylem, epidermis, and the vascular bundle. In order to get further understanding, this is the primary phloem, this is the primary xylem. The difference between these two cells is the intervascular cambium. The line between the cells is the fascicular cambium, and both these interfascicular cambium and the fascicular cambium combines to form a vascular cambium. This is the outer cortex and this is the epidermis, and inside we have the pith. Structure of a plant root. So first of all, in roots, the vascular plants, the roots are the organs of a plant that typically lie below the surface of the soil. Roots can also be aerial or ratting, that is growing above the ground or especially above water. Structure of a plant root. In the root, the xylem and phloem of the vascular bundles are in the center so as to resist these forces. Xylem carries water and mineral salts from the roots to the stem. Phloem brings food from the stem to the root, providing the root cells with all the food substances they need for their energy and growth. So xylem is basically carrying water and mineral salts from the root to the stem, whereas phloem brings food from the stem to the root. If we see a section through a plant root, the xylem and phloem are in the center of the root to withstand the stretching forces when the stem is being blown about in the wind. See a cross section of a root, we have some parts like xylem, phloem, cortex, pith, phylogenes and pelliferous stratum. So let's see one by one what their functions are and what they do. So the cross section of a root, axis of the plant which grows in the opposite direction from the stem, maintain the plant in place and absorb nutrients. Pelliferous stratum. So what a pelliferous stratum do? Set of cells on the outer layer that carries the root hairs, whereas the cortex, part of the root that protects the pith. So it is actually protecting the pith. Xylem is the woody part of the root, whereas the phloem, vessels through which sap circulates. Pith is the center of the root, whereas the phylogen, part of the root that produces the cork.